There are two questions I'd like to address with this video. First of all, what is Western traditionalism? And secondly, what is it trying to accomplish? Regarding the first question, both the Distributist and Fritz Imperial have already offered their own perspectives on what it takes to be a traditionalist. I'm not looking here to formulate a new definition, but rather to impose my new interpretation of the existing definitions. The Distributist offered what I think was the less exclusive definition of traditionalism in his Clear Challenge video, whereas the criteria offered by Fritz in his video Towards Traditionalism Part 1 were more stringent in that they require traditionalists to be Christian, or at least to believe in the moral tenets of Christianity. I'll provide links to those videos in the description, and I suggest you watch them before continuing this video, as I won't be covering them fully in detail here. The problem that I have with Fritz's approach is that I think it excludes some atheists who might otherwise make valuable allies. I don't mean that we should welcome the stereotypical new atheist, but we should leave room in our definition of traditionalism for those atheists who are intellectually honest and sympathetic to our values. The community we're building has thus far had a lot of overlap with the skeptic community, and it would behoove us to be welcoming to those interested in calling themselves traditionalists, so long as doing so would be morally licit and wouldn't dilute our message. It's been expressed that atheists cannot rationally hold objective, universally applicable moral beliefs. And while this is true in virtually all normal circumstances, it's also common knowledge that many atheists hold such moral beliefs and criticize those held by others on a regular basis, particularly within the skeptic community. As such, I think it would benefit not only the traditionalist community as a whole to welcome atheists into our ranks, but also the atheists specifically. Even if their core beliefs don't accommodate objective morality, most atheists certainly act as if they do. Maintaining a definition of traditionalism that's inviting to atheists could expose them to new ideas that may be appealing to them. Think of the potential converts that may result from such a definition. Another clarification that I'd like to make that applies to both definitions is the connotation of traditionalism that implies it can only be applied to conservatives. As with atheists, I believe it's difficult, though not impossible, for even social liberals to profess a belief in traditionalism. I want to be very clear with what I'm trying to convey here. I do not believe that being socially liberal is compatible with traditionalism. Support of abortion, same-sex marriage, and the culture of death in general disqualify an individual from being a traditionalist in virtually all circumstances. However, support for social programs, when motivated by a healthy concern for human dignity and when tempered by reason, should be acceptable within the context of traditionalism. I am not politically on the left, but I do hold some such positions. For example, I see no problem with public health care so long as it makes no concessions for and in no way contributes to abortion, the use of birth control, and other similarly unacceptable acts. I am socially conservative, but I would identify myself as a centrist since I lean different ways on different issues. I would also identify myself as a traditionalist. Thus, fiscal conservatism, for instance, isn't necessary to be a traditionalist, but a lack of some degree of social conservatism is largely unreconcilable with the core values expressed by our community. In short, to be a traditionalist, you don't have to believe in God and you don't have to be a conservative. But it helps. The second question I wanted to address is, what are we as Western traditionalists trying to accomplish? This question seems to be the simpler one to answer, although this one is by far the more difficult to act upon. The simple answer appears to be to grow our community, to gain influence, to challenge the prevailing culture for dominance, and to overcome it. We have to start small, and YouTube seems to be the best platform on which to begin right now. We need a concise message that's comprehensible to the average person. It's fine to convert people from new atheism and radical feminism, but the demographic that we should really try to resonate with is those who haven't yet made up their minds about what to believe, or who haven't thought about political or cultural issues at all. On YouTube, this will largely be younger people. We have something in traditionalism that the human heart longs for, something that the modern world cannot give. There's a general wave of conservatism among Generation Z and some younger millennials, and we need to ride that wave. We're at the cutting edge of the cultural zeitgeist. We are the answer to an empty world that's looking for meaning. Fate has afforded us a golden opportunity to do some real good in the world. It won't be easy, but we have a responsibility to future generations not to waste this chance to pull ourselves back from the brink. That's why I am a traditionalist. That's why you should be a traditionalist.